good time and temperature. We're gonna do this again for the second time tonight. We not Ubering, we just riding. And you know, I'm about to go take a break. Figure out if I'm gonna go home or not. But I guess for this time and temperature, we're gonna go deep. Some thoughts I've been having, you know, like, Ari, what you been thinking? I don't know the rights to that publishing people, but you know, I've been thinking, like, I like today's music. Today's music's good. It's good. I'm a music fiend. a music connoisseur. So, you know, I try to stay up with the latest stuff because, like, I love the platinum era of hip hop, but at the same time, it's like, you know, how many times can you hear the same song? Like, I every year do my own personal radio hits playlist, but even that gets played out. You sitting there. It's on my Facebook. It's like I see it like the Tommy Boy segment of the movie. I think that's Tommy Boy or Black Sheep, one of them, where they in the car and they going through the stations, and it's like, I don't want to hear that, and then they leave on some soft ass shit, and you like, I don't want to hear that. Well, I don't want to hear it, but you leave it on. Then you come 2 miles down the road and you singing together, and it's like, don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? But that's the joke part. I'm just saying, like, I like today's music, and I like a lot of the production. I like a lot of the punchlines and all that with the hip hop. But what's crazy to me is, like, you know, right now you got a lot of down south shit. Like, basically ATL run the hip hop world, and that's not a bad thing. Like I say, I like the South. I love the South sound. It's just like, you know, the whole culture in the world, and it's just food for thought. Got swallowed up by the South, and like I said, I like the sound, but you know, all right, you got the East Coast. East Coast started this shit. Like, you got the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and Staten Island, and they started the shit. I get that's what they did. And I'm in the Philly area. I'm right outside Southwest Philly, if you're familiar with Philly. But for me, it's like, you know, we started it East Coast. That's from New York to Philly. If you want to go Maryland, and even though that's below the Mason-Dixon line, you know, Maryland, Virginia, and stuff like that, that's a different discussion, because, you know, when it comes to some MCs, like, you know, they got a more, I would say, overall sound. Like, you got your Pusha T, you got your T.I., like, you know, you got Hove, who I feel like transcends all of it. They got universal T.I.s and Pusha T's that got the East Coast lyrics, down south beats. They can do a West Coast flow, and that's what I'm saying. The West Coast got a sound, and the West Coast still got a sound. They got that, like, you know, they came in with the different types of stuff, the regional stuff. Like, you got the hyphy, and that was like the Bay Area, North California. Like, you know, even before hyphy was a thing, you had day sound, and then like the E40s and stuff like that. It was real, and even Too Short, like, it was real, I don't want to say unorthodox. It wasn't like rapping like with the beat or anything like. And like I said, it's not a bad thing. It was distinctly them. And then you got the California or the LA sound, and Dr. Dre and NWA and Ice Cube. And even when Ice Cube came to the East Coast and hit with the Hit Squad, I think it was. And, you know, when Dre left Ruthless and stuff, and he had the G-Funk, like, you know, Jay said that shit, like, feel like New York been off since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. Like they had the shit. They had that shit. And then, you know, they had the period of the shiny suit era that was after Big and Pac. And that's another different topic, like, you know, because, you know, you always hear Big and Pac like they twins or Siamese, like they had their own personalities, personas. They were in the industry on their own. But you got these, or you got the West Coast, and they had the G-Funk, and that goes from Dre Day to Doggy Style to Warren G and different motherfuckers. And even, like, you know, you got the Houston down south rap a lot, DJ Screw sound and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, the West was like that laid back, real, I don't want to say soulful, but that funk soul fusion with the, like, you know, you got the Dre beats and the melodic swag of Snoop. And it was just like real, like it's that stuff you could just put on and like you really hear the instruments and all that, and it was real instrumental or orchestral, whatever you want to say. And then you had the boom back by the East Coast, and then you had, like I say, like you got the Houston. And like I'm saying, I love the Atlanta rap. It's just like right now, to me, at least to me, it's like you got niggas, and some niggas in Philly, not many, like Philly still has that hardcore hip hop to me, like they punchlines is like it's like, you know what I mean? It's like New York got the slick talk, Philly we let the streets speak. But that's another story. I'm just saying, because it's a different type of, you know what I mean? Like, but you get what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, like, you got Brooklyn niggas, you got Brooklyn niggas, you got Harlem niggas, you got some niggas in Philly that sound like they from ATL. Like, when certain people came out, I ain't know where the fuck they was from. Even some Philly niggas, I ain't even know where they was from until I was like, oh, they from where? Okay, alright. And like I'm saying, it's not a diss on the music, it's just like I said, like Dre said, we started these hits, like, you know what I mean? And for me, it's like, all right, so the East Coast with the boom bap, the West Coast with the G-Funk, the West Coast still got a sound. They still got, like, Kendrick and a couple people that sound like Kendrick. And you got The Game, who kind of sounds like Nas to me, but that's just my opinion. But it's like, where the East Coast go? Like, with the boom bap and the productions, and like people still flow like they from the East. Like, it's still an East flow, but nah, I can't even say that, because like you got people that sound like the Migos, and like I'm saying, there's no knock on the Migos, there's no knock on hip hop all in general. It's just like when you hear certain songs, it's like, oh, I like it, and then you find out they from like Brooklyn or something, and it's like, okay, I would have never guessed that. Like one of my favorite artists is the boy Sada Baby, Scooter Steve. Like, that's my, like, I like his shit. Like, but I didn't know he was from like Harlem. And then you got like Designer, not to be knocking nobody's shit. Like, I didn't know that he was from Brooklyn when that shit came out. And you got a couple other dudes. I'm like, what? And it's just like I'm saying, like, the boom bap, and I get it. That's Run DMC. That's that type of time. But it's like, you know, where's the production going to be coming? And I know people say, oh, Cam brought the South up north, and ever since, like, the South production been killing the game and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, and then I don't know, like I said, like, we went from the Tupac, Biggie, Platinum, J, like, I'm talking Reasonable Doubt J, I'm talking Volume 1 J, which I still think is a slept on classic. Like, that's another subject for another time and temperature, because, like, you know, to me, I'm gonna just touch on it. Like, to me, a classic album is when you got like 12 bangers and you only skip 2 songs. You got 14 bangers and you only skip like 3 songs. And when you come to like Reasonable Doubt, when you come to Volume 1, when you come to the Blueprint, those is classic albums. You got Illmatic, Stillmatic. Like, to me, you got, you know what I mean? You got The Infamous. You got Hell on Earth. Murder Music can be arguable, but that's what I be thinking, like, you know, when it comes to classic albums. But like I said, you got the platinum era, Biggie and Tupac, like forever synonymous with each other. There's never gonna be any separation of the Siamese twins. I guess that's just high rollers on there. I don't see nobody in there. But anyway, I guess we're gonna take it to the crib right now. I might come back out later. It's kind of late now. I still gotta get gas, so I can't do that tomorrow unless I come back out. But anyway, time and temperature. Like that platinum era, like, and then you had the shiny suit era, and like, you know, like everybody loved the shiny suit era. You ain't gonna admit it today, but everybody was dancing along with Puffy and Mace, and everything was happy. It wasn't gutter like that. Like, it was underground gutter, but, you know, mainstream. And this is not to promote violence, or it's just like hip hop talk. So, you know, to me it was like, all right, you had the West Coast and the East, like, and even with that, that's a conversation that I had like during the 90s, 93, and I was probably like 12, 13 years old. It's like, I don't even know if it had to be around there, like, you know, because at that point, Doggy Style was banging. Like, Doggy Style was that work, and the Chronic was that work, and you already had NWA and stuff like that. That was that work. Like, I don't know how, like, I know I hear stories about what New York was, but that was that work. I don't know, but like, they ruled the airwaves, radio waves. It was nothing but basically death row, like. And like they said at the time, 600 million sold, whatever. But then, like, I had the argument, like, who bought the East back then? Like, who bought the East back? Like, for me, and this is my opinion, like, you know, I'm a big Nasir fan. I'm a big Nasir fan. Nasir hit in 91. Like I said, that's one of the classics, Illmatic. And, you know, Ready to Die was like straight classic. But to me, for me, like, the argument was, the boy I was talking to, he thought Big brought the East back. But to me, it was like, I think, like, when that Protect Your Neck, when that 36 Chambers hit, like, that's what that raw, I'm gonna give it to you with no trivia, like, straight from Bolivia. My hip hop will rock and shock the nation like the Emancipation Proclamation. Like, and like, I don't know, but that's how I felt. Like, it was hype, it was different, it was like, don't get it twisted. Like, Big was my man. I'm a Pac boy, but Big was my man. I totally was in the Big, but like, for me, because I know, like, a lot of people probably wouldn't agree with that, because you would see Big as a bigger artist, and I think as time went on, Big definitely solidified it. But I think what brought the East back from the West Coast was that RZA production, that different, that the shadow boxing and stuff like that, the live chess pieces with machetes and stuff, and it's like I said, it's not to promote violence, it's all entertainment, you know what I mean? So, like, for me, it was on some, like, the way to just raw energy, and, like, you know, what it was, the way I was, like, getting down at the time, even though I was a young boy. Like, it was just like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say no, I'm not promoting dumb stuff, but it was just like, that's, for me, what brought the East back. And then, like I said, you had the Biggie and Tupac stuff, and that was like East versus West media hype up, but it was still, like, you know what I mean, mainstream in the culture, the hip hop culture. And like, that whole thing went down, and when they finally met their demise, or whatever you want to say, it was like, I think it was like a unwritten peace treaty, and they were like, all right, we're gonna let Puffy rock out, and Everybody enjoyed the shiny suit era. And even with that, it's like, like Jay, like everybody know that Reasonable Doubt is a classic now. And like I say, that Volume 1, go back and listen to that Volume 1. That's a classic. Like, that's a classic right there. But when it comes to like, I lost my train of thought right there. Yeah, Jay come out, but after the unwritten peace treaty, and we were like, okay, let's shiny suit it up. To me, it wasn't like they went back to the, I don't want to say beef rap or hard rap, like, but it comes back to the Eminem, like, and some of y'all might not agree with that, but Eminem, he put the aggression, I'll say it like that, and it's all in good hip-hop fun, the aggression back into the hip-hop life. You get what I'm saying? Like, when M came out, even though it was on some Eminem type stuff, he still came out, especially with the second Marshall Mathers John, where he was dissing. It was dissing. That's basically what I'm saying, the dissing and stuff like that. He ended the peace treaty, the unwritten peace treaty. Even though he was dissing like pop artists and stuff like that, I feel like that was the end of the peace treaty. And then from that emerged like Def Jam. Like after that, Def Jam took over everything. It was crazy, and it was what it was. Like, and when I say that, you had Def Jam, you had Islands of Def Jam, you had Def Soul, you had Def Jam Murder Inc., you had Def Jam Rough Riders, you had Def Jam Rockefeller, you had Def Jam, you had stuff that was under Leo Cohen and Def Jam you ain't even know. But they did that, what they did big for however long they did it. They did it through the 90s. They created that platinum, that DMX, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, all that. But, that really was the platinum era. And then, like, I got to give it up for Dr. Dre, because he, like, the man that got 1,000 lives, you get what I'm saying? Because first he had the NWA. He had NWA hit, everybody know that. Then he had his own solo career. He brought out Snoop. Then he resurrected his career, if you want to say it like that, when he brought out Eminem. Then he brought out 50, or however you want to say it. If you want to say he brought him out, or what's the boy name? Eminem brought him out. They still brought out 50, and then 50 brought out Game, and then like even when you thought like, all right, the G Unit, Shady era was really like sizzling down. I ain't gonna say done, but sizzling down. This nigga hit with Kendrick, and Kendrick got fired to me. Like, I know for some people, like, it's not on some more of the mainstream hip hop. Like, he's mainstream, but he's like, to me, he's still like a backpacker. He's still like a hip hop head, not like a gangster rapper or nothing like that. I know he prides himself on lyricism, and I know the first joint I heard him on, I seen him on like the cover of the Source with the freshman class, and then I don't know if it was before or after that, I heard him on the Game joint, the City joint, and like I heard that joint, and he, like, to me, he murked that joint. Like, that joint, he went in. But that's just me, that's my opinion. So like, to me, and I don't even know what's next for Dre. Like, Dre did the beats, the Apple like beats, not the Apple, but it was his beats first, and then Apple bought it. Like, and even on the low, I feel like Dr. Dre doing this thing. But that's all I'm saying is, like, with all that, it's like, where'd the East go? Like, where'd the East go? Where'd the East Coast sound go? Like, it's, to me, like, even if you on YouTube, like, Philly still got that Philly sound, that aggressive, I don't want to say hardcore because the audience is, that it might reach, but if you know hip-hop, you know what I mean. Like, but that, like, I love the Philly rappers, like, they delivery, they punchlines, like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't a rapper. Like, I'll be in my head freestyling, but I ain't a rapper. But as far as, like, that real, like I say, you know what I mean when I say it, but, like, you got the trap music, and that's a specific type of beat. That's a specific type of beat that people create to make that type of music, and it's like, all right, that's cool. Like, I love that. Like I said, I love that shit. But I'm just, I don't know who see this. I don't think anybody important will see it, but, producers, whatever. Like, I know they say in the industry it's always good to ride the wave. Like, if trap music is the thing, then everybody should sound like trap music. If it's the bounce or whatever it's called in DC or Miami, wherever the fuck it's called, you gotta ride the wave. But I'm just saying, like, we don't gotta do no boom bap. We don't gotta take it back to boom bap. I know we definitely passed that. I did see some dudes on YouTube where you like, all right, they DJs or whatever, and they rolling 808s and stuff like that, and it's like, all right, so this is gonna be a boom bap East Coast old school 80s beat, the golden era. But then they just like freak that John, and they just throw their thing into it, and it's crazy. It's crazy, like, yo. But I'm just trying to hear, like, some real. Because like I say, lyrically, I think East Coast is still an influence, even though like I say that because you still have like the people like the T.I.s and Pusha T's, but like for the most part, the flow, the stop and go, and like I'm saying, I'm not knocking that shit. It's very entertaining. The Little Weezies and the Little Weezy clones, the stop and go flow, the type of shit that people do. And like I'm saying, I like it because like if you can really feel it, if you really take the time to listen, they do be saying like saying stuff. They got their delivery, depending on who you listening to. Like I'm a big Lil Baby boy. Like I like Lil Baby. I like Lil Baby. I like DaBear, and I guess he putting on the Carolinas. I forget which one he's from, but that's just my opinion. Time and temperature. We riding. That's just like my thoughts on the matter. I'm definitely in the future going to revisit it, probably with other people, get some other people's opinions. Hopefully in the future we'll see how things rock out. But that's what it is for right now. I guess I'm gonna sign off. Time and temperature. We keeping it. We focused on the road. Don't worry, time and temperature. We definitely focused on the road. You barely see me looking at the camera. But it's just the road edition of time and temperature. We're gonna get back to you though, and we're gonna keep it out like that.